This is a video for a Lexus GS 300. This is the SEL version. Car's covered 60,300 miles and benefits from a wonderful service history, which I'll go through in more detail a bit later in the video. So just going to give you a quick walk around of the car just to show you the car. Any minor blemishes I'll try and pick up for you. Starting on the off side of the car, offside lenses, drivers. So on the driver's side here, absolutely clear. There's no cracks, damage, condensation or anything on there. Bonnet itself is, I can't really see a stone chip on there. It's in fantastic condition. There must be one somewhere, but I can't see one. Offside front wing, again, looks completely unmarked. On the front here, we've got an Avon tyre with absolutely tons of tread, looks like brand new, and an alloy, which again, shows no marks, no curbing, nothing on there. Coming down the flank of the car, very smooth. Can't see any indentations at all on there, or any imperfections actually. It's in remarkably good condition. Rear tyre, again Avon to match the front there. Again, absolutely tons of tread. Alloy wheel, generally very good, but there is a bit of curbing. It's a tiny bit, it's been touched in by someone there, and then a more pronounced one just down there. That's, I just wanted to pick up on anything I can for you. Just go down to the flanks just to show you just how crisp and clean that flank is. Like I say, I can't really see a mark on there. Come around the back of the car, again, really good condition. There's no excuses to knock the back of these. Obviously they've got a parking camera, so anyone that does needs to have a look at themselves. Just coming down to the near side of the vehicle, again, absolutely smooth. There's no car parking dinks or otherwise on there. Rear tyre on the back here, again another Avon. Again, looks like they've all been put on as a set because they've got the same amount of tread on them. Alloy wheel, completely unmarked. Coming down the flank, I mean, the paintwork is in extraordinary condition. It really is. It's a testament to how the car's been kept by the last owner, and they should be proud of themselves the way they kept this car. Front wheel and tyre, again tyre exactly the same as the others, Avon, so full complement on the car. Alloy, very good. As you can see there, only Marc's just caught something on the alloy just on the side there. But really, apart from just a couple of very minor marks on a couple of alloys, looking at the car in absolutely superb condition. So just coming to the boot area of the car, nice big boot on the Lexus here. All in very fine order as you'd expect. It's very well finished. They are, quite beautifully made cars. Under here, obviously access then to the tools and the spare wheel, but they're all there and intact. Right, coming to the back of the car, rear near side door card looks pretty much as new. There's no marks on it at all. In the back of the vehicle here, loads of rear legroom on the GS. Really beautifully appointed seats, incredibly comfortable in the back, as much as so as they are on the front there. Back of the front seat on the driver's side, very good indeed. No marks on that I can see. Likewise, back of the driver's seat there, in really fine order, no sort of nasty kick marks otherwise. But it really is in fabulous order. The video doesn't really kind of do it justice, but it's here just to show you. Right, coming to the front of the car now. Again, driver's door card, lovely condition again. Really fabulous order. It's lovely, materials that they use. I did see a little mark on here somewhere. I was trying to remember where it was from there. Oh, here we are. It looks like someone's just got. It should have been repaired. Someone just caught it there. One of these little door pockets. But that's it. That's the sum total. Sill area again just looks like new. So you've got electric seats on the car. Seat itself, the bolsters, all in absolutely superb condition. It really is. Just come back to here. Obviously you've got electric memory settings on there, and just here, just want to show you because it's hard to see when you're inside the car. You can then got access to other little controls, wing mirrors, and boot release and fuel there in that little hidden pocket there. But inside, it's in beautifully appointed. I love this interior trim colour, but it's really fabulous condition. Right, so inside the car now, obviously engine's running as it has been all the way through the video. Just going to pan across. Dashboard is in absolutely beautiful condition. It really is. It looks like a new car in here. It's fabulous condition. In here, So you've got the SEL, so we've got a full Sat-Nav system on there as well. Obviously if I pop that into reverse, then you've got a lovely crystal clear parking camera as well. But really beautifully made. Further down here, obviously got the Marc Levenson stereo, which is part of the SEL pack. Automatic gear lever, it's in just fabulous order. And then controls here for heated and cooled leather seats on the front, and then you've got your adjustments for, you know, the power settings for the transmission there as well, so you can sort of snow settings and otherwise. Coming across the dashboard, really lovely display here. You can see there 60,327 miles currently recorded. No warning lights illuminated on the dashboard at all. Coming back, obviously multifunction steering wheel, so we've got audio top left, cruise control top right, and then hands-free telephone top right, and cruise control down here. But it's in really fabulous order in here. You know, it's going to be a very hard man to criticise the interior of the car. As I sat here on a lovely hot day, the air conditioning's pumping out lovely and cold, and the driver's seat I've got currently cooling my backside, and it works absolutely perfectly. It's so much so I'm actually going to put it back to 0 again. So finally, just service history of the vehicle, absolutely superb. Just going to hold the book up a little fraction so it's easier to see. Basically Lexus have done pretty much all of it apart from one and ourselves who's just done the other one. So we've got Lexus services at 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, 8,000, 9,000, then an independent one at 16,000, followed by Lexus again at 25, 34, 42, and we've just serviced the vehicle ourselves when the vehicle came in to us. And over here, just to show you, full owner's manual pack and original locking wheel nut set that came with the car. This is the road test video for a Lexus GS300. This is the SEL version. Registration number of this car is MH06YTV, and mileage at the start of the brief road test is 60,318 miles. The reason we do the road tests is basically we're now selling to people from all over the near continent and extremes of the UK. We feel as a company it's right that we should be showing you the cars prior to coming to see us, so we can report back if there's any issues with the vehicle, to give you an opportunity to say have a really good look at the car before you see it, just to give you the confidence to know you come to see good cars. I'm doing the road test on the same roads that you'll be road testing the vehicle on if you come and see the car and are interested in buying it, so this is truly representative of what you'll experience yourself. I always start with the engines on the car, and then I'll go through the rest of the powertrain and other functions of the vehicle as well. So starting with the engine, obviously a fabulous unit, very smooth. This one starts absolutely on the button, utterly silent and smooth in operation. Very refined car. Settles to a very subdued, very even idle. It's rock solid there as I'm sitting here now. Clearly there's no warning lights on the car at all relating to the engine or anything else for that matter. The engines pull incredibly well. It's a genuinely quick car, but it goes about its business, with kind of the refinement and civility you'd expect of a Lexus vehicle. The engine drives through this automatic gearbox. Again, very typical Lexus mechanicals in there. Beautifully engineered, wonderful oiled mechanical gearbox. Got a really lovely quality of gear change. It's quite a quick gear change for a full auto, but it's just so you sense the engineering through the gear shifts itself. There's no clonks, bangs, delays, thumps, anything else. Nothing sort of gives any hint to the age or mileage of the vehicle. They do take quite massive mileages, which is why you've got to be so careful with service histories and ownerships of these cars, because they can be clocked very easily because they hide the miles so well. But driving along, it said it's also got the option to change gear manually, so just pulling the gear lever across the right hand side there. I'm in 6th gear, so just nudge it forward to go up the gears, nudge it back. So if you imagine if I was overtaking a line of traffic but I didn't want the automatic gearbox to change halfway up through the operation, just take a a couple of gears there, back right down to third if you want, accelerate, change up. It's as simple as that. It's really, really, really good. Most of the time people will leave it at full auto mode, and it's brilliant. You know, I cannot fault the drivetrain of this car in any way, shape or form. Steering of the car tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no hint of vibration back through the steering wheel, and there's not an ounce of wear that I can feel through the steering wheel at all. And that kind of thing I'm looking for there is just a little bit of slop or play where you might have a track rod end or a ball joint, a bit of wear in the rack or anything like that, but there's nothing, there's not a hint of it. Really nice power steering. It's got a little bit of weight to it, very precise for what is quite a big car. The suspension of the car is beautiful, very, very smooth indeed. You'll, as there, hear it go over a bump now and again, but it really does ride fabulously well. Again, as with the steering, when I'm hearing it over the bumps, I'm also listening for kind of little sort of after tremors, that kind of where you get anti-roll bar links sort of chattering away underneath, or a bit of play in the sort of the struts of the suspension arms themselves, or the rubber bushing, but there's nothing. It's absolutely silent. It's a really very comfortable, very, very nice car to drive. Again, whilst going at any kind of speed, just listening out for any wind noises that shouldn't be there, particularly obviously noticeable and irritating on a car as quiet as this. So if you've got an ill-fitting windscreen or a paraseal, it'd soon sort of make itself known. But there's nothing. It's you know, absolutely kind of tomb quiet here. It's a beautifully refined car. Brakes on the vehicle, just going to give them a jab. Let me just check the car behind. Absolutely rock solid. Pulls dead straight. There's no pulsing or vibration back through the brake pedal at all. So they're all in really, really fine fettle. So mechanically, you know, it's really, really in top order. Looking around inside the car, it's been kept in beautiful, beautiful condition in here. You know, I much on these GSs prefer the lighter interiors. This is a, you know, really tastefully done two-tone interior. It's not garish or old manny in any way. It's really nicely done. Sort of echoes a lot of BMW stuff, to be honest with you, with kind of the black and the grey. But you know, it is quite beautifully manufactured and made in a way that, you know, the Germans claim to be, but real world of motoring suggests that, you know, the Lexus and Hondas of these world are far better made in the real world. Everything inside the car is in lovely operating condition. But I'm just looking around the interior, because, you know, even a Lexus can kind of be abused, but whoever's had the car's kept it in really lovely condition. Obviously SEL, so we've got a full Sat-Nav system. And don't be duped. Sometimes you get in these GSs, and you know, if it's an SE version, you might well find that it's got a big screen here, but there is no Sat-Nav. It'll just be an information display and audio and climate control, and I was caught out myself with that one, I've got to be honest. But no, this one's full SEL, so you've got this big screen Sat-Nav, dead easy to use. And obviously, once you pop it into reverse, you get a lovely crystal clear parking camera to make parking in tight spaces an absolute doddle. Again, SEL, so you've got the Marc Levenson stereo, very high quality stereo system in the car, really lovely sound reproduction, multi-disc CD player, and it's all just really, really nicely done. You know, there's, you know, I kind of buy the criticism of the Japanese stuff by the motoring press. I'm not sure whether they're in cahoots with the German manufacturers, but if I jump in a 5 Series BMW these days, by comparison to one of these, it just seems really, really Spartan by comparison inside. They're quite oppressive. This is a much nicer place to sit. Again, it's also personal opinion and preference, I know that, but you know, there's no silly iDrives which go horribly wrong on a regular basis. You know, when you press buttons, it's all simple to use. You know, climate control, there you are. Audio, there it is. You know, map, there you're back again. It's just simple. There's no kind of twisting knobs to find Radio 5 and then finding you picked up Heart FM or something equally loathsome. It's, you know, it's just a nice, simple, stylish, but simply beautifully made interior. Coming to the dashboard, I love the gauges, very, very stylish. Really nicely done. It's got this gunmetal kind of display with the white dials. It just looks fabulous, and everything's working perfectly on it. There's no pixelation on any displays. Multifunction steering wheel, so you've obviously got audio top left, hands-free top right, and then you've got voice activation for various functions, and obviously cruise control down the bottom here. Just going to press and set it just to make sure it all works, which it does perfectly. Just going to speed up, slow down using it, but that's all absolutely fine. But literally looking around, every single switch, every button works perfectly. The air conditioning, and it is at long last a really lovely day out there today. We've got 25 degrees showing on the outside temperature gauge, and it's blowing out lovely ice cold air through the air conditioning system. Obviously full climate control as you'd expect on the car. Seats wonderfully comfortable. I've had a couple of these and I've driven the length of the country and got out fresh as a daisy the other side. But it really is a fabulous car. And as I said, for the amount of money that they are these days, it's a huge amount of luxury for what is not a lot of money, and one of the most reliable cars on the planet. It's they are unbelievably well made, as I said, not only sort of in terms of the construction of the bodywork, but obviously the engineering within the engine and the gearbox as well. We just don't really have any trouble with them at all. They're super cars, and that is in stark contrast, I have to say it, and I fear repeating myself, when we've sold C-Class, E-Class Mercedes, top end Audi A6, BMW 5 Series, they've all, we simply can't sell them anymore. They're lovely cars to drive, but they've become too fussy, too unreliable, and not just the little things, the big things as well. The stuff that you'd never thought the Germans would suffer with, but engines, gearboxes, you name it, we've had to replace them. Whereas Lexus have never let us down. It's a wonderful manufacturer. So when you're looking at cars, in reality, in the real world of motoring, which is what I think it is, when you're looking at cars, between, let's say, 7 and 12 years old, or 5 and 12 years old, I guess, then, 50,000 up to 100,000 miles, that's where the other stuff kind of falls apart. So the Motoring Press eulogises about them when they're new and they're not paying any bills because they go back to the dealers to be fixed because it doesn't hurt them in their pocket. The sheer volume of German part exchanges which we now take in, because people are just fed up with putting their hands in their pockets to run them, and yet these things, people come back over and over and over again for, because they're just it's as safe a way as is reasonably possible to have a reliability almost but assured on the vehicle. Still got to do the normal things, servicing, and the wear, the items that which are designed to wear, things like brake pads and discs and tyres. Even Lexus can't do anything about those, but that's kind of pretty much all you'll do. In terms of mechanical repairs, it's almost unheard of. But as an example of one, I genuinely, and if there's an issue with a car, as on my previous videos, I will highlight it, and then obviously we attend to them. It's generally sort of simple stuff, like a bit of brake judder where we'll put new discs on or something. But I cannot fault this car in any way, shape or form. It drives, I hate saying it's new, because that's a recipe for disaster to say things like that, but I can't feel any wear in the vehicle at all, and I had a very low mileage one myself personally, and this one drives no different to that one. Absolutely beautiful. Even though they are quite a big car, clearly, dimensionally and weight and everything else, they really do hide their size very, very well. You go through the corners, they've got a lovely stance through corners. They don't sort of wallow and pitch around and move off the chosen line. They hold their line really nicely, and they're pretty unflappable in that sense. They're not trying to be a BMW 5 Series, so where they'll be fantastic at going through long sweeping bends, at ludicrous speeds, which has been a borderline illegal and certainly unsociable. What it does, it offers, you know, very, very good car control. I mean, to give a classic example, this corner up here, there's two. There's long left and right. This one here, long sweeping corner, just a single input on the steering wheel. And then this next one is a horrible corner because it's a off camber. In fact, the lorry's just there. But it's a generally horrible corner, but it just sits, holds its line. There's no stress, no fuss. It's just a lovely, easy drive. As I said, you know, the BMWs there and the Audis to a degree, they're fine as long as you're on a nice smooth road. But you know, show them sort of a city centre or a sort of some sharp crests or bumps on some B roads, and they can be quite jarring to drive. Whereas you know, this car, if you just want to to get from A to B as smoothly, as serenely, and as reliably as possible, I don't think there's a better car on the market. I really don't. But in essence, that brings the video to the end. I hope it's given you kind of an insight into the vehicle and the, you know, bit of confidence to come and see the car, because, you know, genuinely I can find no fault in it at all. If they've missed anything out on here which is glaring or otherwise, please don't hesitate, do give us a call and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.